start, I would... Hello everyone, welcome. Before we start, and I hand over the microphone to Marina Fokides, I would kindly ask you to wear a mask. As long as you don't drink, we would be pleased if you wear a mask, as it's quite full. Thank you very much. So everybody with your masks ready? I'm waiting that everybody sits down. No? Yeah. So,
please come in, there is more space here.
Yeah, there is more space. Please take your seats. So, welcome everybody, and thank you so much for coming. It's wonderful to see so many bodies in that room. And I thought, I think it's the right event for this, because this time it will be a talk, but also a kind of a body interaction as well. And so welcome to the seventh already event, the seventh crossing of the public program, the Fortress of Crossed Bodies and Destinies, Crossed Destinies. And we'd like to welcome Angelo Plessas. We'd like to thank very much Summer Academy and Sophie Colts for hosting this event and for organizing this situation in the best of the capacity, and for so much people, and Simone Rudolph and Gaia and Karina and all the team. Also welcome everybody that is now following us on the internet, in the live stream, and thank you for being with us from all over the world. So, Angelo Plessas is going to guide us through a lecture performance to his work, and then to a guided meditation, and then after that you would be able to ask some questions if you have questions. Before that, I would like to introduce him. Angelo Plessas, despite a very good friend for the last 20 years, maybe, or more, please, cover the years. Lives and works between Athens and Kymi, a peninsula in Greece. His work highlights this ambiguous relationship between spirituality and technology. He's putting together social relationships and identity politics, if you like, together with interconnectivity and the wider space of the internet. His activities range from rituals to artist residencies, from self-publishing to interactive websites. One of these websites is what you see now in your screen, and this was also Angelo's kind of first works within the art world, this kind of abstract, let's say, affirmative paintings, if you like, that you can interact from your screen from wherever you are. He also does self-publishing books and also educational projects. On the past years, he has organized some events that they were called Internal Internet Brotherhood and Sisterhood, and the Experimental Educational Protocol in different remote places of the world. And actually, as we speak, an educational protocol is taking place in the Salzburg Academy. So around us is people that they are taking, students, let's call it this way, for the sake of the academy, that they are taking part in one of these experimental protocols, educational protocols. Angelo has exhibited in many places, and I will say a few, if you allow me. Recently, 2017, he did the work for Documenta 14 in Athens and Kassel. Then he did the work recently in 2021 or 22 already in 13th Quantum Biennial. He also participated in the Gardena Biennial this year, and he has showed works in Contemporary Art Institute in Chicago, also in Onassis Foundation, and in Jeu de Paume and other places around the world. He's the initiator and the founder of a project space in Athens that is called PET Projects. And he also got, in 2015, the Deste Prize in Athens, which is a very important prize for a contemporary artist in Greece. He will speak to us about his projects, and then he will guide us to this meditation. Thank you so much for being here, and please find ways to interact with each other under the guidance of Angelo. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Do I use this microphone all the... Oh, no, okay. I leave it here. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you, Sophie, and thank you, Marina, for this very warm introduction. And so there is this presentation here I'm gonna do so I can introduce my work to you. And then the other half, or maybe 1/3 of this time that we have here, we will do this guided meditation. So it will be really great if you can choose a very, very comfortable chair or place where you can feel safe and comfortable. Okay, so I start now with this piece, which was made, as Marina said, was made recently for a show in South Korea. And but I'm showing this because this is this is part of a body of work I started in the mid-late 90s that treated websites as experiments of color, code, movement, and different kind, as a new window to this new artistic form that at that time it was very, very limited. And I was also fascinated at some point when I started without even having intentionally becoming an artist, I was very interested in the relationship between machines and humans. So I started buying domain names with the extension of .com, and I was making this interactive strange animations with coding. I was doing them all by myself. And then whatever was kind of describing this piece, I was actually buying the domain name on .com extension. In a way, this piece was becoming a little bit unique in a way. And now some people telling me, oh, there was a kind of a first way making NFTs of something that is digital. I was kind of, with buying the domain name, which is only a unique address, I was kind of making it unique. So for this one, for example, which is a recent one, I used it also in this installation that I will show you shortly as a techno-shamanistic tool in this installation I did in Korea. But I want to stay just a few moments on this body work of mine. During the 90s, as I was telling you, I was very much intrigued with experimental software. I was also hanging out in different chat rooms. And so I was swapping like code with different people that they were not really artists. We were kind of, I don't know, some people would call us coders. I was kind of more artistic. I was not an artist at that time. I was studying industrial design. And I was very excited being in this part of I couldn't like make paintings. I was really bored of painting. And that the internet for me was a new window So the browser window especially, I thought it would be great as I use it for my canvas. So this is my first ever website. I did it in 2000. And basically, I took a selfie of myself and I put it on Photoshop. I made this weird filter. It's a bit like a painting thing. And then I place it in this circular Internet Explorer. At that time, many of you was not even born at that time. We were using Netscape, Internet Explorer, these browsers that were working with very, very slow connections. And these websites actually defined also my aesthetic because we were having slow connections, so everything had to be very, very, very straightforward, not very light in kilobytes. So the aesthetic was very, very simple graphics, black and white, not so many colors. So this is my first ever website. One other, like around that time, is this one, which is this childlike animation, like this futile video game that there is no actually like winning or losing in that. And this creatures is like, it's a logo of my initial AP, Angelo Plessas. And then I was making that and these pieces were actually shown in galleries. This piece was shown in New York at Deitch Projects with a show defining this new movement about internet art before even social media, before even smartphones. So it's very hard to imagine life without smartphones, but that was it. That was the early stages. And okay, so now, basically in my work, there are two paths that I follow. One is the clash between the immaterial and the physical, and the other is the paradoxical relationship, in a way, between technology and spirituality. At some point in my work, I was kind of burned out, working a lot with the screens. So I felt my brain was kind of going crazy, so I started working a lot with spiritual stuff. And in Greece, we have a tradition, you cannot really escape from the ancient tradition, and there were all these meditative and pagan things that was actually, they were part of my aesthetic in my websites. I don't have so much time to show you my websites because I want to go to other parts, but I can send you or find on my website some URLs. And so I'm going a little bit to the recent projects. In Korea, I was invited 2 years ago for the 13th Gwangju Biennial. So I was invited so when the curators asked me, Natasha and Daphne, what would be my project, I thought I was already very inspired by Asia. And I asked them to work with a shaman, a real shaman. And this shaman, Korea is a very, very important case study for my work because Korea at the same time has a lot of indigenous folk traditions, but also embedded in a way and presented through technology. It's a country that technology and the internet is very much penetrated. You can even see very old people working like with their smartphones and doing things through the internet. So that was a very, very interesting research for me. So I asked the biennial to find me a shaman, a real shaman, so I started having these sessions with her through a translator. She did not even speak English, and we were doing these workshops. She was using me in a way to do her thing as well to a Westerner who she would not understand. Some Western people like us don't really understand shamanism in this way, the way people from Asia get it. And I think it's loading now, it will come up soon. And what we were doing basically, I wanted also for my work not to actually culturally appropriate her practice and show it in the biennial. What was interesting for me, we would collaborate, and she will take like themes of my work, and she will do her rituals inside my installation. Actually, they're not loading, but I will show you. Okay, we can see this video, and I can also let you, yeah. So basically, when I arrived in Korea, after a 2-week quarantine, I went out from the hotel, and the shaman invited me in these very, very sacred places in Korea where many, many miracles, according to her, are happening. So first I went to this lake, minus 10 degrees, February 2021 in Korea, and there is this tower that basically she's doing some sort of a body purification. So she invited me to go there. We met there for the first time, and actually as a gift, I made this costume for her that she's wearing right now. She immediately wore it, and the fabrics that I use also in my work, because I do a lot of fabric works that I will show you, they are in a way kind of called orgonite fabrics. Orgonite is this like positive energy fabrics that they look like polyester. They have these special properties, warding off technology. Like, for example, you wear this and you get any electromagnetic radiation. So, in a way, I went there, and at some point she told me, you have to make a wish. I also prepared this quilt that I'm wearing there, which is this mask. I call them mask, and it's a prop for these rituals I'm also doing in my work. Masks in shamanism is a very, very important element, is a very important tool. And I made this kind of huge emoji in a way with 3 eyes, and I wore this while we were doing. So basically she told me I had to go around her, and I should make this kind of like rotating myself. At some point with this cult, I would become so ecstatic, and I would start like thinking images of myself into these very beautiful settings and wishes of myself. So I had Michelangelo, who was there. He was taking all these videos while we were doing. I was not supposed to use these videos because they happened quite accidentally. But then they became so beautiful and so meaningful for me that I showed them in the installation. Let me exactly after the lake, she told me, oh, you are so strong. You managed to do this. Then I will take you to the second stage. So we climbed up this very, very steep mountain, and we went to this place where there is this rock that looks like a face. It's this wind god that she tells. And she made me drink of this beautiful drink. And then I became also ecstatic there. And she made me do this kind of thing, going around wearing my quilt, that she kind of purified also these fabrics in a way. And she told me, she gave me some fortune telling about the specific piece in the biennial that opened like 2 weeks after that. And now I'm going to show you installation shots from this piece. And so it was this pavilion made of this like silver fabric, that it's of course this orgonite fabric that I found it through a company that it was kind of warding off technology, but at the same time I'm using a lot of silver in my work since many years. And I also sewed these huge quilts. Some of them are big, some of them are smaller, that they have all this symbolism of ancient Greece, but also Korea for this specific. These are all masks, and I also use a lot of techno-pagan symbolism like Wi-Fi symbols, things that some hackers were using also before. And these are all talismans. This is actually like a furba, which is this like dagger that you put it in the and I made even a website out of that. So inside, I had these 3 big websites that acted as techno-shamanic tools that basically you could go, if the shaman and me were not there, one could go into this installation and they could use a little bit this installation as a joystick for self-improvised, self-educational things about shamanism and technology. They could even take these quilts and wear them. And in the back where you can see myself wearing, I'm actually resigned the Techno-Shamanist Art Manifesto. I even wrote a manifesto about Techno-Shamanist art that you can read it on the main website. It's very big manifesto, and then people could go inside the place and they could get all these blankets and they could sit down and meditate. There were also videos about meditation in there. Let me show you. At some point, we did this ritual inside. I brought the shaman from this sacred place that she lives in the middle of nowhere in Korea. And I should find this video. Anyway, I can't find the video right now. It's this very, yeah. Anyway, if I find it, see it now, it's this ritual we did inside this installation, and she purified the whole biennial. She came from my installation, and then we went all over. And that happened also with the people because COVID was happening, we couldn't be so many people, so we were doing it in groups. I have to move to another project I did very recently. It's the Gerdena Biennial, which is in the South Tyrol, and there I made the meditation of all beings. Basically, I write a lot, and whatever I write, they become videos. And at that time, this meditation of all beings, it speaks about the interconnectedness with all this universal energy that contains all our bodies, plants, animals, extraterrestrials, bacteria, everything. So I made this video that actually it's a visualization of my meditation process every day. I visualize about things, and it's also a very interesting internet subculture. Let me show it to you. Okay, it's this one. So I use this TikTok aesthetic. In TikTok, there is this subculture that I call it TikTok messianism. So there are these young people, my millennials, that they speak about this new kind of spirituality. It's a techno-spirituality. Sometimes it's serious, very good, important. Sometimes it's not something, it's just, people showing themselves there. And I found it very interesting using these tools that TikTok is, you have these ready-made tools, and actually I kind of recreated them in this video, having myself a little bit as video performer in a way. Well, this is not online, but it's happening on this video. So I speak, there are 12 different chapters that I speak about different kinds of instances in this world, from plants
Free of present-day thoughts, I am allowing my spirit to float in a new situation, dispelling my thoughts into waves.
So
I allow
this video is all
waves
done by me,
to
even
reach
the
things
sounds.
with no definite
I use
states, positions,
all
and
my
properties.
photos from
I
my
think
archive.
I am okay. I inhale particles and
Actually, I was not supposed to put myself, but this actor I was supposed to take, she didn't want to take part. So I said, okay, I don't have time to do it, so I placed myself inside there. But it makes more sense actually, because the text and my voice, it's becoming a bit of a video performance. When I was doing this chapter,
Now,
it speaks about viruses. I had COVID, and a little bit you can hear my voice a bit more
pushing ecstatically viruses and parasites into the abyss of black holes. I inhale strength and exhale seeds. Lies, toads.
Anyway, so now I'm moving very fast. Do we have, what time is it now? Yeah, okay, we have a bit of time. At the same time, my piece there took the form of these quilts. Next to the screening room, we had these quilts that I use, as I told you, these EMF protection fabrics. And at the same time, at this castle there, I did this gathering of about 150 people, and I made the text that I'm using in the video, I made a communal meditation. And I'm wearing also this cape that it's done by these fabrics, and it's done with all my symbols and stuff. And let's move now. So for Documenta, I did in 2017. I was invited to Documenta to do two things. Both we had to use both places as artists, one in Kassel and one in Athens, because Documenta 14 happened also in Athens at that time. For the Athens piece, I made this installation that actually is started from a gathering of students and artists that as the project I'm doing here in the castle, it's called Experimental Education Protocol, and it's speaking about experiential education. So this project happens like this. I choose a case study, which is always a place and a person, and I come up with a statement. And then I invite students and other artists to come up with educational workshops, and that actually we are all participating in that, and these educational workshops ends up in performances, or they just stay as educational workshops. And we go to these faraway places. For this one, we went to Delphi, and so I collected the material of these artists there, and the case study for this is very important, was Delphi, which was the place where omens about the future were given. In the ancient Greece, you would go to Delphi and they will give you this omen about your life or about wars, about anything. At the same time, I met a woman that was a neighbor of mine, and after a long time that I knew her, I'm making very short the story, this woman confided in me in the World War II. She was a spy. The Greek secret services commissioned her to spy on the Germans. And because she was staying near a military base in Athens, basically they found her and they followed her, and she was a very, very educated person. They could, confide in her. So basically what happened, this woman was spying on the Germans during the occupation, and she was actually giving all the secret service, the Greek secret service, what the Germans were planning to do. And she did it in a great way. And accidentally, nobody knew about the story. This woman, in a way, at some point, In the 40s, she got these medals from the state, and then she emigrated to the United States for a reason. And she came back to Greece and she was my neighbor. And at some point when she confided this story, I said, listen, this story has to become very, very, it should be known. Nobody knows. So she became my case study, the person that was actually, there was some sort of a modern Pythia, a woman that she would actually, with her technology, her eyes, would actually predict wars. So I took her, all her, saved the archive that she had, basically this part where I'm showing you, there were all these coded symbols of her daily, she was giving to the Greek Secret Service, all these in codes, like the way hackers use now, coding, like these dots, secret things that people could only read. If a German person could arrest her, they didn't have any witnessing that she was spying on them. So I made this installation in the Fine Arts School of Athens, and she also became a model. After World War II, she became a model for painters, which is strange. She also became a model in a German book about Greece, which is also very strange. And at some point, I took all her material, I placed it in one part of the installation, and in the other part, I made an interview of her that if we had time, I would love to show this, but we don't have time. And I interviewed her in her house, and she was explained to me her technological skills, which was basically her eyes and her charm, speaking with the Germans, speaking also, trying to, and she confided a lot of things in there. At the same time, I had these screens on the side where I collected material of what the students and the other artists saw from this gathering of 7 days in Delphi. So I made also these self-publishing books that you can see on the side, and I made this aesthetic which was like a school. You could go and sit there and you could learn things about how to use your skills of the eyes, things that you don't know, about observance, surveillance in the times of the internet. There were many issues that we were touching in this installation. And the other thing I did, that was my Athens project. My contribution for the castle one was another project also. I call it the Eternal Internet Brotherhood Sisterhood, which was a guerrilla gathering of artists, curators, designers that I was doing for 6 consecutive years in different places in the world. It started in Anafi, in very faraway places where the internet was not even existing. So my idea was to invite all these internet artists in a place where we would go with no internet. We would go and camp in faraway places, and actually the first one happened also, Marina was there, and it happened in this island in Greece that was a pirate island in the medieval times. And the second one happened in Mexico, in this surrealist park, where actually, Sophie, this is where we met accidentally. Yeah. And it's this place. Yes. And so, for Documenta, when I proposed to do the Eternal Internet Brotherhood in part of Documenta, so I invited also other artists, and we went to this, I was interested in Kassel that was not shown before in any Documenta. It's the tradition of the communes. In Kassel there is this tradition. These people are gathering there, they buy a piece of land together, and they make these communal houses. They cultivate their own plants, their own food. Basically, we went, before Documenta started, we went for 10 days in this commune called Donberg, outside of Kassel, where there is a revival of Germanic shamanism. It was also interesting, this topic. It was perfect for my project, especially these rocks there. They do this kind of witches rituals every May. So I chose May to do it, doing the Walpurgis night, it's called, probably you know it. And I invited all these artists there, and we stayed next door to these rocks. There is this beautiful commune that also the communes were part of the project. So I invited the communes also. Part of my budget of the piece is to take this budget and give it to one commune to build this, this installation that I would show in Kassel later, that also they would be credited in this project. So this what happened actually. It was this amalgam of videos, and you could go inside this installation. And for example, this here, this looks like lamps. It's an analog clock that I did it with children in one of the communes of Kassel. So I commissioned the children. I gave them also some money to work on this invention that it's called analog clock. And it's actually, you can tell the time, the current time, through looking at the colors of these lamps. At the same time, I also donated artworks. I made a special symbol talisman to each commune in Kassel. There were 6, I think, I remember, 6. And I basically put this projection of these logos that I donated to the communes on this Leonardo da Vinci tent that one of the communes constructed. And I donated back to them. So this is an open source. I work a lot with open source and public domain imagery. And I made this installation that people could go, sit on the couch, see what we did. They could also like take parts. Weekly, we had these therapy sessions and performances happening around this installation. And this is the logo of the Eternal Internet Brotherhood. And we had also this free space that we could all gather there and do these therapy sessions. And this is the clock. Okay, and I will show you a very, very... we have to stop, eh?
No, you don't have to stop. I'm just saying... I
To
don't
think
know
the
how long
time.
meditation
Yeah. We have to start. It's gonna be... When do we have to finish? Like the meditation will be like 15 minutes. So I will show you this last project now. This is one of the latest. I want also to make a connection with different mediums that I work with. And I work a lot also with neon. And neon, I started doing neon works around 2005 when I read Neuromancer. It's a very, very important book by William Gibson. And William Gibson, in a way, in this book, he was describing the neon, the light of the neon is the color of the networks. It's basically the color of the internet. So I was very much intrigued about this quote and this idea that we read in this cyberpunk novel. And I thought, okay, I will start making things with neons, because also the light, like the internet, it has some like physical substance. It's not really clear what it is, but there is also some physicality. There is that. So I was commissioned by the Onassis Foundation in Athens to work on this very complicated neighborhood that has an anti-cancer hospital. It's this like stadium that also Some people also died years ago through hooliganism, and there is also next door to us that you cannot really see it, there is the headquarters of the police, like on the left side. We were forbidden to take any photos of the police headquarters. So it's also like a highway that when you pass from there, you don't really feel something extremely positive. So my idea was to get this wall there with this foundation. We work very hard in bureaucracy to get like, was this council of this building where it's, and then I made this series of talismans that they speak about the different contemporary feelings. They are also related. It's my interpretation of also some contemporary logos in combination with some ancient but also multicultural symbols. For example, this one is the command symbol in our Apple keyboard, but also in African and Celtic tradition, it's also the symbol of friendship. Also, in California, now it's very, very recent logo and talisman. The mushroom is becoming the talisman against anti-depression. And it's also the logo of recycling, the mushroom. So I placed this thing, and this is like it's been lit 24/7. And yes, that's it for that, for my work. Now, enough with the blah blah. I want you now to close your eyes and find a very comfortable spot. Close your eyes, please. Let's take few moments to settle in now. I want you to open your eyes now and please put your phone on flight mode and close any apps that can distract your meditation. But keep your phones. Keep your phones. We will need them. First of all, now put your phones on your lap and close your eyes again. And we will scroll and scan our bodies. We will do a fast body scan. Try to relax. And now let's make 3 very big breaths. Now think there is a neon light scanning your forehead. Scanning from your forehead. Now it's going to your eyes. Think of your eyes. Are they tired? Now go on your nose. Your lips, you can move your lips like something, do a movement so you can relax them. Now go on your throat. Now this neon light is going on your chest, your shoulders, your lungs. Move to your abdominals. Try to breathe some air in your abdominals. Now go on your genitals. Feel your genitals. Go now on your knees, your calves, and the soles of your feet. Feel the earth now. Please notice any tension on your body. Okay, now open your eyes and hold your phone. Please hold your device with one hand and close your eyes again. Feel the phone in your hands. Think how heavy it is. Feel the weight, move it a bit. Think of the hand holding the phone and the other is holding nothing. I want you to visualize now rays of information in the form of text or images are coming out from this device, this volume. And also vice versa. Information that this device is receiving from you. Imagine this as a sponge. Open the eyes again and think for a few seconds what sensation this thing we done now brought you. Stress, smoothness, love, maybe nothing, maybe the presence of this device, maybe it's totally nothing for you, or so there is something. Think about this presence that you hold in your hands now. Okay, now I want you to switch on your phone on normal mode, the way you use it, on the normal mode. and open your eyes. And what I want you to do is to open your favorite social media app, maybe Instagram, Facebook, and I want you to go in this part of the application that you can see the whole list of your followers or the people you follow. You can choose one. It's very important to have a list of people so you can see. And there, what I want you to do is to select your favorite person from this list. I'll give you a few seconds to do it. Think spontaneously about a very good friend, a person you like, a person that is very well known and it's good for the universe. Stay focused on this person for a few seconds. And try to send good waves to this person. Think something nice. Waves. Think of a nice experience that you want to have with this person. Visualize an ideal scenery with this person. Send a good wish to this person. Maybe you can say out loud, may this person be fine. Maybe this person be fine. Okay. I want you to now go the same list of your social media app. You have it in front of you? And I want you to choose now your least favorite person. Spontaneous, be spontaneous. But if you don't know how to choose, you can choose some celebrity, I don't know, somebody that you don't really admire. Think why you follow this person. I want you to send good waves to this person. And I want you to have images of this person that is doing something good to you, or in the world, or in your communication. Think something that this person could change for your everyday opinion you have. Send a good wish to this person. Maybe we can say out loud, may this person be well. Let's do it. Let's do it. May this person be well. Go ahead.
May this person be well.
Great. So now I want you to go now again on your phone and look on your profile page. Not the followers or following people. Just look on your profile. I want you to see, to realize if you have a feeling of censorship, admiration, shame, narcissism, love. Let's do that for 20 seconds. Maybe you close your eyes now. I want you to pray or send some nice waves to you, to yourself. Open your eyes and think, how does it feel to pray for your own well-being? Have you done it recently? Think of it. And now let's close our eyes for the last time. We are almost there. Let's think of this situation we have here. Let's think about us in this physical place right now. Let's send good feelings to everybody physical in this place, that we interact with our particles, our atoms. Open your eyes and thank you. Thank you, Gabriel Sacco and Daria Pugachova, which are my students in the school.
Thank you very much, Angelo. Thank you very much, everyone, for being part of this. And I'm not sure if after this meditation you are in the mood for questions, or you just need to go out with this feeling of, of relaxation or thoughts that you've been through. One thing that I want to add before we receive questions is that we said this before, but as there are always new people coming, we are right now in the discourse bar that is created by Flaka Haliti, which we have the luck to have her with us today, and together with Meta Heaven and Marcus Misen, and this is part of her exhibition, her solo show, that you can see in the other part, but this is also part of the show. So thank you very much, Flaka, for having us here for 7 Crossings, and also for the ones that came now. This program is a kind of a continuum through the 3 let's say, periods of Summer Academy. We are already in the crossing number 7. We are relying on somehow kind of a tarot pack and on a book by Italo Calvino, which is called the Castle of Crossed Destinies, where people find themselves in a forest and they cannot communicate with each other because they have been muted. And so they communicate only with a device of non-logical means. So we've been discussing about tormented realities and somehow magical remedies as today throughout these crossings. But questions, is there any like pressing question, or people prefer to? Some question, nothing?
Any questions?
If not, I have only one question, and then we can release you free.
Of course.
And this is, of course, knowing the work and also hearing you talking about this shamanism and the religion and the praying, and then the social media. I have to say that, and I'm playing the devil's advocate, but this always comes in my mind, this institution of the church, the institution of the internet, the mega people behind the social, let's say, social applications like Facebook or Instagram and all this. Like, so mega companies, mono companies, multicultural companies, monotheism, praying, and institutions as such. And then we have you, that you propose to us a kind of a, let's say, sacred ways of approaching ourselves and the reality around us. How do you bypass this conglomerate of mega mono culture and hegemony?
Actually, I believe that, okay, let's start with the internet. The internet now, it's something that even technologists cannot really describe anymore because it contains multitudes. So there is the totalitarian internet, there is the spiritual internet, there is the crazy internet, the corporate internet, neoliberal internet. So there are plenty of situations inside this structure that is basically many things inside there. Well, the internet, as the real world, is actually copying a lot of things from the physical world. And it's something that actually we can't really control it anymore. And in the future, we will see other instances of the internet. And they speak about telepathic connections, and the technology will be some sort of mediator. So I believe that there is going to be an internet always that will be mystical, experimental, democratic, and always in the side of the people and not the corporations.
Amen. And about the church? Like the church technology, let's say, the kind of religion technology.
The religion technology is...
Or institution. I mean, how you bypass this?
Well, I mean, as an artist, I always take advantage of these platforms. I see them as platforms, the church, technology, Silicon Valley, all this kind of stuff. In a way, we artists use them, all these things. For example, in my work and in my quilts, I use a lot of gold and quilted materials for my fabrics, which is kind of similar to the way quilted vestments of the Greek Orthodox Church were made. So in a way, artists, are here to kind of twist like existing scenarios and presenting things that we actually, everyday life is twisting this everyday life and mundane and structures that they teach you to behave like this. We twist that.
Right. Thank you very much. Any question? No? Okay, there is a question, so somebody can help me to get the microphone.
I have a question, but I'm not really sure. But
We can't hear you.
hello. So speaking of materials, I feel like the quills can play a significant material. But here we also see the neon light.
Yes.
I'm just curious how you decide for the way that you chose the material that conducts the work, like be inside and outside the veneers. Yeah, because nowadays I saw so many kind of like lighting work that people also use neon. So how to make this kind of like unique, or that people look at the work and can see that something like significance from an artist. Like for example, if I remember about your work, I will remember of the cute, the costume of your performance. But how about like for another words like the neon light here?
I don't understand so much.
I think you are asking how
Sorry.
how he combines the material, right?
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
All right. Why he
Ah.
chose this material and how
I
he
chose
combines
these materials.
the microphone.
Ah, can you? Is my microphone is switched off? Ah, okay. As I told before, they are the materials that I choose. They are not accidental. They have a relation with my first kind of interface, which is the internet, and this is where I started. I started as an internet artist, and now I do all these physical works. As I said, the neon represents it's the color and the material of the networks, according to William Gibson, which for me is one of the big heroes of this survey I do through technology, shamanism, and some techno-mysticism. In regards to the pieces, the fabrics, I'm very much interested in my way. My work also negates also technology. I also organize these gatherings of people that we actually can have the option to do digital detox, but also being with technology. And in a way also these materials, fabrics that I use, even that they are blocking technology, I find them very technological. So I play this kind of toggling between off and online, offline and online, all this kind of stuff. So it's fabric and neon. That's it for now.
So, there is one more question.
I find this like trans shamanic approach really interesting, and I was wondering what for you are the connecting links between maybe the Greek proto-shamanic culture and the I don't know, like I guess like you're trying to touch on this universal kind of shamanic knowledge, right? And I was wondering what is this linking point for you, and how do you avoid questions of cultural appropriation, for example, which is really like you're really like playing in the fine lines of that, which I find really really interesting. Maybe you could share something about that.
It's you want to say something? I am very much interested. When I started working for the project in Korea, I had already made a research. I'm not interested only the conceptual connections, because there is a connection from ancient Greece to Asia. It went through Caucasus, went all the way to Siberia, and there are connections. But what was also made this connection also with Korea was the semiotics they use there in shamanism that we use in ancient Greece. At the same time, before emojis and all these things, there was a language of pre-emoji language that was actually appropriating like codes from indigenous languages. Silicon Valley appropriated all these things. Basically, this command symbol that you see there, it's an appropriation from an African Sudanese symbol that speaks about friendship, and they made it a command symbol. So everything, this is very much what my research is all about, all these like things that I find online, and I connect the dots also from my trips. What we were also doing in Mexico, we were actually decoding this surrealist park with this internet artist, a very physical place. We were decoding the symbolism and all these things that this surrealist residency was happening there. So for me, cultural appropriation, it's open source. I mean, when you are an artist and you make like a contribution to something that it's already part of the cultural commons, is a new thing. It's not cultural appropriation. It's something that I find it interesting. And of course, everybody's using Plato. It's not cultural appropriation. It's part of the public domain. It's part of the cultural commons of the world.
That note, I think to that note, thank you very much. Please be with us before you upload Angelo. Be with us next Thursday, where there will be 3 museum directors and curators speaking to us how institutions respond to cases of emergencies. We will have with us Ekaterina Deco, which is now the director of this festival in Graz that I cannot pronounce, but maybe somebody else can, Steinherherbst or something like that. We will have Zdenka Badinovac, which is now the director. She will be online. Actually, Zdenka could not come. She's the director of the Museum of Contemporary Art in Zagreb, and Sebastian Czocki, which is the chief curator of Warsaw Museum of Contemporary Art. So we are waiting for you here in the discourse bar once more. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.